How's it going, Five fans? It's good to be back, coming off a great weekend full of some very interesting fights. I mean, let's jump right into it. I mean, UFC 317 has my pick for
Mhm.
right now as the card of the year. There's been a couple great ones, but I mean, there were so many great fights throughout Saturday night. Brian, start us off. Just pick which one you want to start with.
Well, let's just start off with like the craziest one for me. The Jack Hermanson versus Gregory Rodriguez RoboCop. Uh, not a very a long fight, but what a aggressive, like these guys both hit ridiculously hard, bro. I
Right.
always love watching RoboCop, and he's moving up in the rankings, but after knocking out, should I say, Jack Hermanson, I don't think that he should have followed up with that shot. But they do say, your job's not done until the referee's pulling you off the guy.
Right, and you can't blame him. I mean, there's adrenaline going, there's the crowd behind you, there's that big pop the second somebody hits the ground. And like you said, they're doing their job. The job's not over until the ref stops the fight. Um, I mean, we have seen some unnecessary, I wouldn't call it, I mean, yeah, I guess you could call it unnecessary roughness
Hey, you're
after
reminiscent
fights moving on.
of your boy,
Yeah. Um,
of
but
Mongo.
yeah, we were talking about that a little bit before we went live. It reminded me a lot of. There were two fights that immediately came back to my mind about with necessary shots at the end. First one that we mentioned was Ben Askren versus Jorge Masvidal. We'll talk about Ben Askren in a little bit, but after that flying knee, he landed. I think it was two or three like gigantic looping
Yeah, he was
overheads on
already
the
stiff
ground.
at that point.
Yeah, and that I mean, all respect for the knockout. I mean, that takes some incredible luck, timing, skill, and I guess knowledge, knowing that he was gonna do that.
Yeah, just the
And
placement.
then
It was a perfect shot, honestly.
right, and then a more recent one that they reminded me of was Jalen Turner facing Bobby Green or former Bobby King Green, now King Green,
Yep.
when Jalen Turner knocked Green out face down and proceeded to mount him from the back and hit him like 5 times.
It's insane. I'm getting some Mario Yakasami vibes over here because Herb, and credit to Herb, he's done a great job for so many years as a ref, but he should have dove at
The
RoboCop.
second that Green was unresponsive face down on the canvas, that he might have been out. Just maybe.
It really means a difference, and Jack was not up for at least for at least like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest knockouts I've ever seen. Definitely a candidate. There's a lot of candidates for blank of the year at UFC 317. That right now is my contender for knockout of the year.
Yes, I'm gonna probably have to agree with you there. Moving along to Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima.
The
Did
return of Peyton Talbot. I personally was very impressed with how Talbot was performing. I mean, we came in knowing that his grappling wasn't going to be his strong suit, but his takedown defense and his adaptability within the cage was bar none. I mean, I was
I
watching it.
feel
I
like he
was
won
just
the wrestling exchanges with Lima.
he did. I would there was very few times when he was on the bottom, and if he wasn't on the bottom, he wasn't working a scramble. There was a lot of time when he displayed some of the best takedown defense I might have ever seen in that
And
division.
Lima was no joke. Lima was a very strong contender coming into this fight.
Right, and obviously Peyton Talbot coming off a loss. What was it like 6 months ago? I think back in January, December when he last fought, and he had something to prove. He had a little chip. He had that little bug in his ear, like fraud check. He lost his zero. and he came in and showed that he's here to stay and that he's not just some character that Dana White wants to promote and make money off of. He's a legit contender, and I mean, he's got, I'd say, at least one more, maybe one more fight before he fights for the top 15.
That's a bantamweight, right?
Yeah, he's a bantamweight fighter.
Man, you know, it's every time that I see a prospect coming up, I always try to determine whether they got championship material in them or not. I think I see some really good things from Peyton Talbot, but to climb a mountain like to
Like
get to guys
bantamweight
like
right now,
Marab,
especially in the state that it's in right now, with such a dominant champ in Marab, with such a mountain of contenders below Marab. I mean, like right now, you just got the 1 through 5 is Sugar Sean, Umar, Kiryan, Sandman, and Song Yadong, and then
that's
6 is Figgy. Like,
oh
oh my,
man,
like
that's no one's getting past that.
the bantamweight division is stacked right now. It's one of the most stacked divisions. I think it's probably one of, if not the most stacked of all time, right now, or of all. That made no sense.
Yeah.
Of the time the bantamweight division's been around. I mean, obviously there was the TJ era, the Dominic Cruz area, but I mean, right now it's looking like there's. I mean, you put this against any other era, and I would say that this is the most dominant phase of bantamweights that we've had.
It's very hard to make it far in bantamweight right now. If you know, for guys like Peyton Talbot, you don't have to get any of those guys on the decline.
Right. And there's
Moving on to one of my favorite fights of the night: Benil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. Whoa,
it
man,
was
what a match!
it was a breath of fresh air. I feel like to see that fight. It was. I mean, like, you have Moicano coming off of his loss against Islam, which I mean surprised a lot of us.
I mean,
Not that
no,
he
I
lost, that he
wasn't
got the
surprised
fight.
about that.
Well, that he got the fight is what I'm saying.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I was like, I mean, Islam put on a display against him, but the matchmakers knew what they were doing. Benil was out of the cage for 2 years. His last fight was actually the first article that I wrote for y'all. That was
oh yeah.
Benil Dar. It was Benil Dariush Arman Sarukian back in like November of 2023. I want to say, but I still remember seeing Armin, who was still like, he was known, but he wasn't like as big of a character and as big of a contender as he was now. He was, I believe, Dariush was ranked 6th, and Tariq was ranked like maybe 11th or 12th, and came in with a first round knockout with just a short clinch knee. I was thinking this kid can be something, and coming back after a knockout like that from Benil, I mean, took a 2 year hiatus, but he looked great in this
Oh
fight.
yeah, man. Throwing those baseball bats as kicks, man.
Uh,
Right from round one.
for a jiu-jitsu practitioner, that man can take a punch. He is, and he's old too. He's like what, 34 now?
I mean, he got the grades going.
Yeah, I mean, he is a very underrated striker. I would, and he's got good distance control. He's got a great chin. He's got great.
And most of all, he got balls, man. Listen, this is
Yeah,
why I watched the UFC. This is why I got into this business. It's a tough guy business. He
right.
went at Moicano, and Moicano is no you can't walk over that dude easily.
No,
You know,
that guy's always looking to win. I mean, money.
Moicano's right. His heart.
He's the money man. He makes money. What'd you
Listen,
say?
Renato tried his hardest while fighting Darius. I could see it. He was trying everything. He even started resorting to takedowns and all that stuff. You know, Moicano's always looking for that highlight reel and all that stuff. He's always gambling when he's fighting. But I saw him fading in the second, and he was a shell in the third, in my opinion.
I
I think
agree.
Moicano needs to take a step back.
Right, and Dariush, just like Peyton Talbot actually in his last fight in his fight that he just had, Dariush was always trying to put the pressure forward. it wasn't very it wasn't in the forefront, but I noticed that the only time that Dariush really took a step back was when he got rocked in the first round, and other than that, I didn't really see him take many steps back, unless it was a strategic like retreat to regain composure, regain like regain the center of the octagon.
Yeah. Let's see.
So yeah, a great fight. Shows that both of them are still here to stay. They're two of the older guys in their weight division, but they're not going anywhere, at least for the time being.
Yeah. Well, that definitely moves around the pieces at lightweight.
Lightweight,
Uh,
yeah.
moving to back to way back down to flyweight. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van. That's flyweight, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And my pick
Fight
right now
of the
for fight of the
freaking
year.
night, man.
Fight fight of the year, I would say right now. Without a doubt, there's not a single fight. I was playing a game like I was playing like I think I was literally playing UFC 5 between the two fights,
Yeah.
and after the first bell, I was like, "Hold up, I'm gonna quit this game and watch this. This is something special."
It was. It was.
They it was
Kicks,
a
knees, takedowns, all
it
sorts of
was
weapons were shown.
I don't know where I heard this. I think it might have been Joe Rogan that night. He said it was a massive no holds barred sparring match for kickboxing rules with 4 ounce gloves.
Oh man, what a sight to see.
It was it was what every like it's what every fan wants to see. It was a pure striking match. Neither of them shot a takedown. There was Royval almost got knocked out in that within those last 10 seconds. Van got
mhm.
a
Oh
really
yeah,
clean knockdown.
he almost got a buzzer beater right there.
I know that would have been incredible. And I mean,
That should
props
have
to
been a
both of
five
them.
round fight.
I mean, who knows what's going to happen against Pantoja? We'll talk about Pantoja in a little bit, but I mean, Joshua Van from unranked a month ago to beating the number one contender to 3 days ago. I
Talk
mean,
about
who
the
does
fast
that?
cream.
Who does that? He's only 23 years old. He said on his interview that he started training 2 years ago. That man started training when he was 21. He is now probably fighting for the title within the next 6 months.
Oh my lord, that's I don't think it's ever been done before.
No, I mean you could. The youngest champion was John Jones at 22. He's not going to do that. But from unranked to champion, if that were to happen, which I mean, Pantoja is no easy fight.
Yeah, yeah. I still
But
don't think he gets it done.
I mean, we still have a lot to see from him. We have to we saw exactly zero grappling from either Royval or Van that fight.
Well, it's gonna be a
So,
problem.
and we know that Pantoja's strength is in his ground game, in his back control, in his just wear you down over time game, and we don't know if Van can stop that, and if he can, I mean, he's got a great run ahead of him if he does.
Mhm. Well, I mean, after moving on to Pantoja versus Kai Car France, seeing how Alexander Pantoja can mix it up at any moment of the fight, and he really pushes the pace too. He can push the pace.
Right,
He can go backwards. He can. It's very reminiscent of Mighty Mouse, man. Mighty Mouse can take the fight anywhere, but
right.
one
He's
difference.
very diverse.
One difference: the flyweight division is better than ever.
Oh yeah, the flyweight division is absolutely stacked right now. Uh, with I would say with some of the best fighters in terms of skill that we've seen in a while. I mean, Royval number one right now. Joshua Van's probably going to move up. I mean, is he? Do we give him the number one? I mean, he just beat the number one.
Oof, that's a hard conversation to have. We might
It's
need
a
to get some
very hard
experts in here
conversation.
sometime.
I am very excited come Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, seeing what the rankings turn out to be. And I'm especially curious to see where the UFC puts Pantoja on the pound for pound rankings. Because right now, he is number 9 on the rankings. He has 4 title defenses. He is ranked number 9. He is below Alex Pereira, who is not even a champion anymore.
Some crazy stuff, man. He's putting up numbers. His name's right next to Mighty Mouse and I think Aldo it was.
Yeah, in terms of win streaks.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, get Mighty Mouse, and you put Mighty Mouse and champion in the same sentence, you're going to bring up the 11 title defenses that Mighty Mouse has.
Yeah.
This makes 4 for Pantoja, if I'm correct.
Still got a long way to go.
Yeah. Is it possible?
Well, I mean, depends.
Time to tell.
Depends if he can stay at 125 his whole career, because that's a lot more fights that he's going to need to get to that number.
Right. And
he might run out of time. But either way, the opponents right now, they're waiting for Pantoja. I think a lot of them are better than the guys that Mighty Mouse fought.
I mean, oh yeah, the skill ceiling and skill floor right now in the flyweight division is nowhere near what Mighty Mouse fought. Mighty Mouse was fighting scrubs pretty much. He's fighting what would now be like mid-tier amateurs at the pro level. I'm not saying that Mighty Mouse wouldn't compete at all in this division right now. I'm not saying that at all. I still think he would be as dominant as he was before, just because of his striking capabilities, his fight IQ, which is, in my opinion, the best of all time. And it's just a great division. It's so fast. Every single flyweight fight that I've seen that comes to mind is so fast paced. They're always putting on a show, the flyweights.
Oh yeah, the speed. They're like the fastest division in the whole company.
Absolutely. Because
when you see a flyweight do jiu-jitsu, it's different.
Shout out Mikey Musumeci, UFC jiu-jitsu champion. That was a great. I think he got him in a heel hook, I think.
Yep.
And, I mean, that kid's a monster.
So yeah, there's a lot of people hating on Mikey right now. A lot of other jiu-jitsu companies right now going head to head with the UFC BJJ. Well, we're gonna save that for another episode. Let's finish off with Ilya Taporia versus Charles Oliveira, man. Holy crap! Where do I start here? It's such a curveball that Taporia is. He's come into the fight game and just completely freaking wrecked everything.
I saw a really funny comparison. Ilya Taporia is going on a Randy Orton a 2009 Randy Orton run, the Legend Killer. Like he's just knocking out everybody's favorite fighters just because he has to, or just because he can.
Might as well go fight Justin Gaethje, man. You already knocked out all my other favorite
Probably
fighters.
Is. I mean that Patty fight is in the makings. I just saw that saw on Instagram before this that Dreykus might have accidentally leaked the 319 co-main, which was Patty versus Justin.
Really? Oh
yeah. Which I think that would be a great fight, honestly.
I like that. I think Patty does it right now.
I think so too. He's riding momentum. He's a lot better of a fighter than a lot of people realize.
Right now, he's so talented. He just needs the right opponent to show his abilities. He's young. Right. He got the reflexes. He's got the mic skills. He got man. Those are just like he's some of the best.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be very excited to watch a Patty versus Justin fight. But we're straying away from what happened. Ilya Taporia coming in, tons of boos coming towards him, and he does exactly what he says he's gonna do. He knocks Charles Oliveira out in the first round, and not just like TKO, like ground and pound. He flattens him. Like,
Yep.
oh
I
my
mean,
god.
when Taporia hits his opponents and when he knocks out his opponents, they go straight to the floor. There's none of this, delay stuff. They rock
Right.
it down to the floor like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it in our group chat before when it happened. Like the touch of death is what he has.
Mm-hmm.
He hits you clean one time and you are out.
Yep.
And
Really short fight.
with the
Taporia
power,
landing at
like with
75%.
yeah, I mean, he was done within the first 3 minutes, if I'm correct. Right?
And with those statistics, man, landing at a 75% rate for uh for Taporia, man, I don't think nobody in the lightweight division can even weather that. All right, so Marco 77657 says, bro, JDM versus Islam or Taporia versus Islam. Great matchups.
Ooh. Both are great. It's very tough to pick. Like which one would we rather see? I would personally rather see Islam versus Taporia, just to cement. I know it would be a tragic fight for uh, if Ilya were to knock out Islam before fighting JDM.
Okay.
I would want to see JDM versus Islam before Taporia versus Islam, just
I'd say
so
so too.
Taporia versus that's a little at lightweight.
French Delicious says
Um,
Taporia versus JDM. Now that's
that
just
would be an interesting fight.
holy crap.
That would have to be probably at lightweight. Meet somewhere in the middle, because if JDM if Taporia goes up to 170 to fight JDM, that's not gonna. I don't see that bearing
That's why
too
they need
well.
to open up a 165 division.
I would say that, but it's that's a weird spot, because you're 10 pounds away from you're 10 pound weight cut away from lightweight, but you're a 5 pound weight cut from, like, you're 5 pounds away from, what is it, welterweight. So it's kind of weird to pick those two. Marco, again, when do you think Taporia versus Islam will happen if Islam wins JDM? Of course. Well, it's all based on I don't think that they've booked the JDM
When
fight, have they?
I heard that per Mike from ESPN that they've rejected Islam from getting the JDM fight, and that he has to fight the number one contender.
I agree. Another Hamza versus DDP predictions. Saying that it'll be the fight this summer. Bold statement after what happened this past Saturday night. I mean, I still think that's going to be a great fight. Seeing a lot of predictions that DDP is going to knock out Hamza with, like, Looney Tune style, which I think would be funny. I mean, it's tough. That's a very interesting fight, I will say. There's not
I
a
think
lot.
JDM beats Islam. I don't
If
know.
Islam
Am I gonna get
if
some
Islam
flack for
can get
that?
him to the ground, if Islam can get JDM to the ground, I see Islam mauling him. But if JDM can keep it on the feet and use his amazing boxing and that jab, I could definitely see JDM winning that. I mean, it's fighting. It's what we love about the sport. There's so much that could happen.
I think that JDM is just too big for Islam. There's a cap there. Even though they say Islam is a pretty big guy and he could make the weight and everything, I don't know about that. I
I
gotta
mean,
see it and believe it.
he looks exactly what you would expect a 155er to look like, I feel like.
Who's the number
Uh,
one contender in welterweight?
I will. Next fight for
Well,
Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gahn for sure. That's his own. That's the only person. Bilal right now is number one just because he lost the title, but Sean Brady is number two. Sean Brady versus JDM would be a great fight also. Ilya Taporia next fight. Let's see. Pull up the rankings. I mean, I would give him one title defense at lightweight.
Okay.
I would say either Arman Sarukian or the winner of if Patty versus Justin happens, the winner of that. Or Patty versus Arman or Justin versus Arman. But I want to see something between those three. That would be a really good fight, I feel like.
Yeah. So
I totally agree with John retiring. I mean, he left us empty-handed. He had us. He said that he was gonna fight him versus.
Listen,
he said that he was gonna fight.
Listen, I've been at the events with John Jones. I've been seeing him left and right at the DBX and all the stuff. I've seen the videos of him in freaking Thailand riding the bikes and freaking hugging dudes out there. I knew he was not going to fight. You know, I've been knowing this guy was not going to fight. He's avoided the question forever. He was sort of ducking media questions when we were at the weigh-ins for Dirty Boxing. And I was talking about this with Max, you know. It did a lot of damage to his legacy.
Yeah,
yes and no, in my opinion.
I still consider GSP as my personal GOAT just because his record, like, you can't argue with a single thing. He had the little grease skate against BJ Penn, but other than that, he still beat him. Like, he didn't lose a decision or win a decision because of that.
Yeah.
So GSP for me is still the GOAT.
You know, John Jones's legacy may or may not be affected, but you know what was definitely affected? The heavyweight division.
Yeah.
All right. We were talking about it last week. We don't even know if Aspinall has the opponents to become great.
Right. I mean, he's got Max said that he's got 2 fights ahead of him. He's got Cyril Gane, which I agree with. That's his next fight for sure. But then he's also got what's his name? Not Rosen. Jonathan Almeida.
Oh yeah.
Who could become something else. I mean, he got knocked out. I mean, it's tough to say because he got knocked out by Curtis Blades from shooting a takedown. Like that you never know. Marco again. The worst thing is it wouldn't hurt John Jones' legacy at all if he lost. He deserved a much better farewell. As not a way legends should leave the sport. I agree. I mean,
completely agree.
It's a tough topic. I mean, fighters leaving. I mean, we idolize these fighters and then they retire, and
they do me dirty, man.
It's a tough pill to swallow. Like, I've seen I've seen my favorite fighter of all time is Anthony Pettis, and seeing him leave the UFC broke my heart.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it was one of the first fighters that really got me into it. Way back in the day. Yeah, but you know what? This guy is right.
WEC days.
Listen, this guy's right. Marco's right. Probably the farewell for a guy at this level. I think maybe the worst thing for John Jones, in my opinion, was just going to heavyweight in the first place. Man, should have stayed at light heavyweight. Yeah, I mean, maybe he just retired there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if he would have retired before, or even if he retired after the Cyril Gane fight, I think nobody would have been upset at that.
No,
I
got my background on. Sorry, I got a mess in the back. We're gonna cut it short, anyways. No fight week next week.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
No fight week next week, man. But it's fight week every week at Fighting Yo. I'm sure we'll find something out. We'll continue giving you guys content as always. Hit us up, man. We're always down to go live, especially on Mondays when we got the recaps. Fans, tune in and come share with us, man. Come on our lives. You're more than welcome to hop on and give your opinion. Next week we got a real fight week, BKFC in Miami. You know, we'll be there. And
absolutely.
Yeah. Super excited for all of that. Guys, we'll see you next Monday. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in.